I am Drishti Patel and today we will be talking about blood in this video. We will be discussing about blood, its chemical, biological and physical properties as well as the functions of blood. Blood is a constantly circulating fluid providing the body with nutrition, oxygen and waste removal. Chemical properties of blood. Blood is red in color, semi-transparent, extracellular and viscous fluid. Its pH lies between 7.35 to 7.65, making it slightly alkaline. For the third chemical property, we will be discussing about the specific gravity of blood. Specific gravity is an alternative term used for relative density. Relative density of a substance is the ratio of the density of a substance to the density of a standard. The standard usually being water if the substance is solid or liquid and air if the substance is gaseous in nature. The specific gravity of the blood happens to be between 1.03 to 1.05. For the fourth chemical property, blood is a fluid connective tissue, and for a fun fact, lymph is also a fluid connective tissue. Biological properties of blood. Biological properties of blood comprise of the components of blood. Blood is made up of two major components. They are plasma, which makes up 55% of blood, and blood cells, which make up 45% of blood. Plasma is the fluid part of the blood, whereas the blood cells float in the plasma. Let's discuss plasma. It is yellow in color, slightly alkaline and viscous in nature. It comprises of 90 to 92% of water, and among other constituents, there are inorganic, organic and other biomolecules. Inorganic make up to 0.9% of the plasma and include chlorides, sulfates and bicarbonates. Organic materials make up 7% of the plasma and include serum albumin, globulin, prothrombin and fibrinogen. Other biomolecules include glucose, fatty acids, glycerol, amino acids, hormones, and enzymes. The function of plasma is to transport nutrients and oxygen to different body parts and also to collect waste products. Let's discuss the other component of blood, the blood cells. They can be categorized into red blood corpuscles, also known as erythrocytes, white blood corpuscles, also known as lymphocytes, and platelets, also known as thrombocytes. Red blood corpuscles. In adults, they are formed in red bone marrow, while in fetuses, they are formed in liver and spleen. The process of formation of RBCs is known as erythropoiesis. The lifespan of RBCs is 120 days. The shape of RBCs is biconcave and disc-like. The hemoglobin content in males is 13 to 18 gram per 100 ml of blood, whereas in females it is 11.5 to 16.5 gram per 100 ml of blood. The condition in which there is an abnormal increase in the number of RBCs is known as polycythemia. The condition in which there is an abnormal decrease in the number of RBCs is known as erythrocytopenia. White blood corpuscles. They are formed in red bone marrow. The process of formation of WBCs is known as leukopoiesis. They are colorless, very active and motile in nature. Their number varies from 5,000 to 9,000 per cubic millimeter of blood. They are found in tonsils, thymus and spleen. The condition in which there is an abnormal increase in the number of WBCs is known as leukocytosis. The condition in which there is an abnormal decrease in the number of WBCs is known as leukopenia. The pathological increase in the number of WBCs is called blood cancer. It can be also referred to as leukemia. There are two types of WBCs, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes. They are those WBCs which have cytoplasmic granules. They can be further categorized into neutrophils, basophils, and eosinophils. Neutrophils make up 60 to 70% of the total WBCs. They do not get stained by acidic or basic dyes. They have 2 to 7 lobes in the nucleus. They destroy bacteria and release chemicals that kill or inhibit the growth of bacteria. Basophils. They get stained by basic dyes like methylene blue. They make up 0.5% of total WBCs. They have twisted and bilobed nucleus. Their main function is to produce heparin, which is a natural anticoagulant, and also to produce histamine, which is responsible for the allergic symptoms of the body. Eosinophils. They get stained by acidic dyes like eosin. They make up 1 to 3% of total WBCs. Their main function is to produce antihistamine, which is responsible for the suppression of the allergic symptoms of the body. They have bilobed nucleus. Agranulocytes. These are those WBCs which have clear agranular cytoplasm. They can be further categorized into monocytes and lymphocytes. Monocytes have large kidney-shaped nucleus. They make up 5 to 6% of total WBCs. They are phagocytic in nature and are known as scavengers. They digest pathogens, dead neutrophils, and the debris of dead cells. Lymphocytes. They make up 30% of the total WBCs. They have spherical shaped nucleus and a thin layer of cytoplasm. They are of 2 types, T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes. T lymphocytes are responsible for the immune response system, and B lymphocytes are responsible for the production of antibodies. Lymphocytes function to destroy cancer cells, cells which are infected by viruses, and foreign invading cells. Platelets, which are the final type of blood cells. They are small and oval in shape. They are the fragments of megakaryocytes. Megakaryocytes are the cells with large nucleus and are present in bone marrow. On an average, there are 2.5 lakh of platelets per cubic millimeter of blood. They have granular cytoplasm and they do not have a nucleus. The condition in which there is an abnormal increase in the number of platelets is known as thrombocytosis. The condition in which there is an abnormal decrease in the number of platelets is known as thrombocytopenia. Platelets secrete precoagulants, which are nothing but the clotting factors, to promote blood clotting. Platelets also dissolve blood clots, which are no longer needed. They secrete chemicals that attract neutrophils and monocytes to the site of inflammation. That was all about the biological properties of blood. Now let's see the physical properties of blood. They are gravitational force, electrical force, surface tension, viscosity, and specific gravity. Gravitational force is considered to be a physical property because it is responsible for the fluid dynamics. It is therefore responsible for the free flowing of blood. The second is the electrical force. It is the force which is resultant due to a charge carried by molecules or atoms. The 2 types of electrical forces seen in blood are cohesion and adhesion. Cohesion occurs because of the attraction between the like molecules of blood, and it is responsible for the shape of blood in the air. Adhesion, which is opposite to cohesion, occurs where unlike molecules are attracted towards each other, and it is responsible for the capillary action of blood. The third physical property is surface tension. It is the force that pulls the surface molecules towards the inside, and this force is exerted by the molecules situated below the surface. If the external force is greater than the surface tension, then blood spatters are formed. Fourth physical property is viscosity. It is the measure of the internal friction in a fluid. It is referred to as the thickness and thinness of fluid. If more molecules are present in a liquid, then there will be more friction, and the liquid will flow slowly. and thus the liquid will be called a viscous liquid. Blood is 6 times more viscous than water. Because of this property, blood flow often shows some resistance. On the basis of their viscosity, fluids can be categorized into Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluids. Newtonian fluids are those fluids which maintain a constant viscosity, for example water, whereas non-Newtonian fluids are those which can't maintain viscosity at a constant rate, for example blood. The fifth physical property is the specific gravity. Specific gravity will also be considered as a physical property because it is a measure of density. The specific gravity of blood is the ratio of density of blood to the density of water, and it lies between 1.03 to 1.05. Now we come to the functions of blood. They are transportation, defense, homeostasis, and blood clotting. Transportation. Blood is responsible for the transportation of nutrients, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hormones, and waste products. Nutrients. The digested nutrients get absorbed into the blood through the capillaries present in the small intestine. Nutrients in the bloodstream travel to the liver where they get processed, and then they get distributed to different cells and organs through the bloodstream. Oxygen and carbon dioxide. Blood absorbs oxygen from the lungs and transports it to the rest of the body. The waste carbon dioxide moves from the body to the lungs and get exhaled. The endocrine glands hormones. Endocrine glands, also known as ductless glands, secrete the hormones directly into the bloodstream where they get transported to the respective target organs or cells. Waste product removal. Blood also collects waste products from different cells and organs and enter into the kidney where it is filtered to remove nitrogenous wastes. The toxins from the blood are also removed by the liver. The second function of the blood is defense. WBCs present in the blood fight against internal and external threats. For example, the WBCs kill mutated cells which are carcinogenic in nature, and which is an example of internal threat. In the diagram you can see the WBC engulfing a bacteria and digesting it. This is an example of the external threat. The third function of blood is to maintain homeostasis. Homeostasis refers to the tendency of the human body of being into constant equilibrium for stability and better function, and the blood helps to maintain homeostasis. The blood helps to maintain the internal body temperature by absorbing or releasing body heat. When blood vessels react to the outside organisms and changes in internal temperature, they expand and contract. This moves the blood and heat closer to or away from the skin surface. As you can see in the diagram, that when a human body is encountered with an increase in the temperature, it starts sweating in order to counterattack the increased heat. Whereas when the human body is encountered with a sudden decrease in the temperature, it starts shivering to produce body heat and fight the decrease in temperature. Blood also maintains pH balance. The fourth function of blood is blood clotting. The platelets present in the blood helps the clotting of blood at the site of injury and prevent further blood loss. The platelets form a clump at the damaged area. Fibrins are also formed to complete the clot. Whenever there is an injury, our body starts losing blood at the site of trauma. The platelets present in the blood forms a clump at the damaged area and prevent further blood loss. So that was it in the video. Thank you. If you liked our video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more such educational videos. And for further doubts, queries or suggestions, comment in the comment section.